So I woke up this morning to see a 19 in front of the silver price. It was down over $1.50 as I slept. Down over 7% as I slept. Yesterday it was down 34 cents. Okay. 1.5%. Okay. That wasn't out of the realm of whatever, but overnight that was a huge move. Now, where will it go today? Will it get repaired today? I mean, if Bernanke says something, you could undo every move and then some, right? So it's the word cloud of these central bankers. The words. You need a linguist, right? Who forget technical analysis, get linguistic analysis. What word did he say? What was the inflection? What was the tone? What was the string of words? How has he used those words in the past? It was like silly. I mean, my friend, the Apple investor, he was telling me in the past that they actually used to try and look at the briefcase size of or was it Don Harold? Oh, I'm getting people mixed up. Sorry, but I think both of them told me that, right? That people were trying to look before the meeting how thick was his briefcase, because when there was an interest rate change, he'd have a lot of papers. When there was no interest rate change, there wasn't. People were actually making trades based upon the size of Alan Greenspan's briefcase. This is how nutty, right? This is how nutty things can get, right? So your analysis based upon the size of his briefcase? Oh my freaking gosh. Okay, so my analysis yesterday was kind of in the same nutty range, right? But it was right. I mean, look what happened. It was weird. Because what is the edge I have, right? I've been on this channel for I've been doing this for longer than 4 years, but I've had this channel since 2009, right? So I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen people come, I've seen them go. I get lots of feedback, I get emotional feedback. I see things. So what did I see in the last 2 days? Number one, Eric Sprott was doing the rounds again, right? We've gone over that before. Eric Sprott was doing the rounds, boom, falls off a cliff. Eric Sprott does the rounds, boom, okay. A second thing I saw, right? I got an email from goldsilver.com, Mike Maloney's baby, right? Mike Maloney, who's an entrepreneur, he does business ventures. Previously, he did an audio-visual business venture. Years ago, he wrote a book. He was an early adopter. He has a brand name, a brand image on the whole gold and silver thing. He's did this DVD series. I met him in person. He was meeting people on YouTube. He was a hands-on person. Okay, so I get this message. Hello, Joe, blah, 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 blah. James Anderson, managing director. So Mike Maloney is delegating his baby to someone else. And there's a picture of Mike Maloney and this other guy. This is the ping test guy. So we're watching a video a little while back, and there's some dude with Mike Maloney doing a ping test. It's like, who is this guy, and why should we care about him, right? It was the Mike Maloney brand image that got people into the goldsilver.com, right? I mean, a couple of years ago, if Mike Maloney was not doing the hands-on, I would have never even gone to the blog, right? Because he wrote the book. He was the charismatic personality. He was the one who created an image, a brand for gold and silver. And I'm sure this other guy's a competent, managing director, but as a gold silver investor, why would anybody care about anything Mike Maloney? So when you see pictures of emails coming from his business that Mike Maloney isn't even bothering to send emails out himself anymore, it tells me there's something going on in the bullion business. It's telling me it's time to double short. And my instinct was right. A double short the last 2 days would have been a killer trade. Killer! Okay? Because what is my edge? My, quote, edge is the sentiment. I see so much sentiment. I get hate mail, right? People are saying how terrible. No, it's a good thing. The more hate mail I get, the more silver falls. It's a direct correlation. In fact, I should do a trading service. You pay me, and you can see my inbox and see all the hate mail, and you'll know when to short silver, right? I'm kind of being facetious here, or whatever word I'm grasping for. I'm not going to do that. But I'm saying is that the correlation is huge. It's huge. I mean, I get comments going back. Like, for example, I mentioned Rob Gray. Rob Gray is in the industry. He said he was sure that silver was going to 19 at that Metals and Mineral Conference. Well, guess what? We saw a 19 in front of the silver last night, right? Does that mean he's my hero? No, it doesn't. I know nothing about the guy, right? Nothing at all. In fact, I didn't know who he was until a few weeks before that thing, because I didn't really care about the silver bullet, silver whatever. I didn't care about it. I didn't care about generic rounds, right? But it was interesting because of the controversy. So I met the guy. He goes, oh yeah, silver's going to 19. And guess what we saw last night? There's a 19 in front of it. Right? And that doesn't mean I like the guy, right? It just means that he's a retailer and he was giving me a behind-the-scenes opinion about it, right? So I guarantee you, he wasn't the only one, right? Rob Gray wasn't the only retailer who said it was going to 19, right? These guys hire traders. Mike Maloney's got traders working for him. I mean, they know the odds, right? They knew the odds. The odds were 19. That doesn't mean it's destiny. It doesn't mean it's destiny, right? So, while he's sending out, they're sending out emails about citizen journalists uncovers data. They got their own data they're not telling you about. Why? Because they want to make money. Mike Maloney's got his employees. He's got to pay them, right? That's, when you have people working for you, you have a relationship, right? And Mike Maloney was his employees loved him, right? When I met Mike Maloney's employees, his employees love him. Mike feels loyalty to his employees, so he's gonna want to make the business prosper, right? And business prospers by you buying stuff, right? Okay, fine, that's fair. That's how the markets work. But I was saying, wow, and the way it was written, I could tell Mike Maloney didn't write it because it says, amazing sewer data came from a citizen journalist. Just the way it reads, I could tell it didn't look like Mike Maloney wrote it. I could be wrong, but when Mike Maloney's not writing this stuff, like why will the silver and gold bugs be attracted to this stuff, right? I don't know. This is just my speculation. You see, this is a learning process, right? I'm not some infallible YouTuber, right? I'm making a judgment, and my judgment can change on feedback. I get more feedback. Like, in fact, what I'm saying right now is for a window of, June 20th, right? Because Bernanke could come out tomorrow and say stuff, and all of a sudden it's off to the races, right? Bernanke could single-handedly send all these metals back to the races if he wanted to. Bernanke issues one sentence, and guess what? The metals go through the roof. He could do this, but is he going to do this? I don't. That's whatever. So, anyhow, yeah, I'm going to APMEX, and yeah, can you buy silver? Yeah, well, they got they're as low as $2.59 per coin above spot. So, I guess, if there's some shortage or whatever, I don't know, at Max you can still, and their buyback price, let's look at those things. You guys know how to do that. But anyhow, yeah, so it's interesting because, people are saying, how come you're spending so much time on this Cosmos Gatto guy? Well, it's because he's been right for several years, right? He's been, quote, trolling and leaving mean comments. And he has been kind of mean. He was kind of harsh on Jezebel Decibel. She's a very classy lady from Australia. He was kind of harsh on her. He probably didn't know she was a lady, right? So I hope that Cosmos says, I'm sorry, Jezebel. But what he was saying was right. I mean, what he's been saying has been intellectually right, even though he's been really harsh on people. But for me, my wallet doesn't care about emotions. It cares about how much stuff's in it, right? And how much this stuff could be in my wallet also. It's stuff that I'm concerned about. All right, so thanks for watching, and we'll see where this thing goes today.